the broadcast studio, and suddenly we had internet and cell signal. It instantly changed the communication situation and put the church back in touch with the outside world. Hope this was useful.
Very useful.
Absolutely.
And I'll just say a quick word. We had a baby that had a severe allergy and could not get formula. There's none available. We put it out over the hams. A pilot who was also a ham operator found it in Statesville, put it in his lap, flew it up here, and within 2 hours we had that formula.
Amen.
And it got to where anything I asked for, the pilots were bringing in.
Right.
We'll tell more about it later, but 109 sorties flown, just airplanes. 5 helicopters, 109 sorties on fixed-wing aircraft.
You were talking earlier about people from the outside that helped us in. I've got one of them on the phone, and he's one of your dear friends.
He is there.
And Brother Harlan Barnett has, from the outside in, sent in a lot of funds from churches in the Midwest, and we wanted to bring him on and let him testify for a moment.
Brother Barnett, your help was invaluable, and you were a part of Christmas. And the Appalachian Christmas was, it broke all records. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. By that time, brother, we were completely worn out. We were completely give out. We had nothing left to give as far as of ourselves. And you coming to our rescue, my brother, meant the world to us.
Well, that was a combined effort. We we appreciate the opportunity to be a help to that region because we are of the mountain culture, and I'm from East Tennessee, and I'm just going to say it this way. From the outside looking in, we felt every emotion. We didn't feel the hurt of it like you did, but we felt every emotion that you felt. People were on their devices. People were listening to every news broadcast, trying to find out the latest to how everything was working there in the mountains during Helene. And the fear, the sorrow, even the frustration and the anger, we felt it from the outside. And it was amazing to see you folks work through those emotions with bravery and heroism. And it inspired people. And for those of us who know the faith of the mountains, people who serve God in the mountains, we saw God all over it. And it was an easy time to give. It was an amazing time to see people who were even stone-hearted in their giving. God kicked the lid off of some bank accounts it was just amazing.
So you mentioned a moment ago, Brother Barnett, you mentioned several emotions that went on during that time. And I think that that's spot on, how that from the outside, y'all saw all of, what we were experiencing. If we weren't smiling because God provided something, we were getting hit in the face with something that we needed. And that was happening every day for weeks and weeks. And if it hadn't been for somebody with some sanity on the outside, and I don't want to sound bad by saying that, but that's the truth. Thank God for people like Harlan Barnett that came through, and you were able to reach some churches. What areas did you pull from? Were you able to reach out to provide help for us?
Well, of course, by phone nowadays you have unlimited outreach. So by text, I've been out there a long time, brother. I've been doing this work since 1986. So you can imagine the clientele of people that's on my phone. I have 700 contacts in my phone. And for lack of a better servant, they began to trust me. And they were looking for somebody that was trustworthy, somebody that was capable of helping the people there in western North Carolina. And I'll stop here long enough to say this. I know mountain people because, like I said, I'm one of them. And we're clannish. And you folks have had a lot of vacation, tourist-type traffic there in the western North Carolina mountains that you could probably have done without. But you know what? When they came there, they learned some things. They learned hospitality. They learned a lot of biblical characteristics they'd never seen before. And you made a place that's near and dear in their heart. And that's why they keep coming back. They find something there that they don't see anywhere else. And some of those same people that actually mountain people could do without had turned around and said, oh, my goodness, these are the people who have been so kind to us. These are the people that made us welcome. And we've got to help them.
It was amazing,
I
brother.
started I started receiving checks that were scary. Somebody gives you a 20 or 100 and say, put this in the Lord's work. You don't get in a big hurry about it. But when somebody starts writing you a check for $5,000-$10,000, you say, oh, my goodness, God's got his eye on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to get this to the place that the need is as quick as I possibly can. Well, so that's how it began to work. And a lot of the things that we did through Brother Stroud to begin with, till the banks and so forth began to open up and you guys could receive them yourself. But it was a grand privilege just to see it all work, and I know it was hurtful. But I see the purpose of God in a lot of it. And one day God will give us the full snapshot, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
But God's been faithful through it all, hasn't he?
Brother, over $1 million committed to the storm in goods services. I mean, in goods and in money. Over $1 million God entrusted through here. And we bless the Lord for it. We'll have Brother Stroud on later in the day. Brother Harlan Barnett from Indiana, thank you, brother. We appreciate you, and thank you for all that you did to help in the recovery efforts here from Helene.